Hey there everyone and welcome aboard. Today we are diving into staying safe on tugboats. Out here, on a tug, it's not just about battling the elements. It's about understanding that every action has a ripple effect. One wrong move can mean the difference between a successful operation and a disaster. That's why we're here to talk about unsafe acts, those seemingly small choices that can quickly escalate into dangerous situations. We'll break down what they look like, why they happen, and most importantly, how to prevent them. Because out here, knowledge isn't just power, it's survival. So, buckle up, grab your hard hat, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty of staying safe on the water. This ain't your grandpappy's fishing trip, folks. This is the real deal. Let's get started. Some folks might look at a tugboat and think, what's the big deal? Just pushing barges around, right? But there's a lot more to it. We're dealing with heavy machinery, massive vessels, and constantly changing conditions. One slip up, one moment of complacency, and things can go south real fast. We're talking about risks that can lead to serious injuries, even fatalities. Think crushed limbs, falls overboard, or collisions with other vessels. Most of these accidents are preventable. They often stem from what we call unsafe acts, those seemingly insignificant actions or decisions that create a recipe for disaster. So it's not just about knowing how to tie a knot or operate a winch. It's about cultivating a mindset of safety, a constant awareness of the potential dangers lurking on deck. Let's dive deeper into this. Safety isn't just the captain's responsibility, it's a shared burden. It's a collective effort that requires everyone on board to be vigilant. Think of it like a chain. Each link represents a crucial safety measure. If even one link breaks, the whole system is compromised. Whether you're a seasoned captain or a greenhorn, your actions can make all the difference. Speak up when you see something unsafe, follow procedures, and never let complacency creep in. Look out for your shipmates, ensuring they're working smart and staying safe. We all want the same thing, to get the job done and return home safe to our families. Unsafe acts aren't just blatant disregard for the rules. It's often subtler, a slow creep of complacency that can lull even the most experienced seaman into a false sense of security. Every task, no matter how routine, comes with its own set of risks. It's those risks, those seemingly small details that we need to be hyper aware of. It could be something as simple as leaving a tool lying around on a wet deck, creating a tripping hazard, or neglecting to properly secure a line, putting yourself and others at risk. These seemingly insignificant actions can have major consequences. Let's sharpen our focus and start seeing those hidden dangers lurking beneath the surface. Awareness is our best defense against disaster. Stay vigilant. Stay safe. Why do we take risks? We're all human, and humans make mistakes. We get tired, we get complacent, and sometimes we just take shortcuts. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, it'll never happen to me. We've all been there, pushing our limits, testing the boundaries. But out here, Those boundaries are often unforgiving. Maybe you're rushing to finish a job, trying to impress the boss, or perhaps you've done the same task 1,000 times before and think you can do it blindfolded. But that's when complacency sets in, that dangerous belief that we're immune to the risks. And let's not forget about fatigue. Long hours, rough seas, and the constant pressure to get the job done can take a toll. When you're exhausted, your judgment gets cloudy, your reactions slow down, and that's when mistakes happen. Stay aware, stay safe. How do we combat these human factors and prevent unsafe acts? It starts with recognizing the signs. Complacency is a silent killer. Look out for skipping steps and ignoring safety protocols. Fatigue affects concentration. Take breaks. Communication is crucial. Understand the task. Stay vigilant and look out for each other. I've seen my fair share of close calls, but some stories stick with you. One such incident involved a tugboat in calm waters. It was a routine job, the kind they'd done countless times before. The captain allowed the tug to get too close to a passing cargo ship. The unsecured tow line snapped, yanking the vessel violently. Water rushed over the deck, and the tug capsized. A Coast Guard rescue team arrived swiftly, rescuing the crew. A stark reminder of the importance of vigilance. It's not always the catastrophic events that leave a mark. Sometimes, it's the near misses that make you re-evaluate every decision. As the hours ticked by, fatigue began to set in. The line, taut as a steel cable, suddenly snapped. The deckhand barely had time to react. That near miss served as a wake-up call. Communication is more than just words. It's a lifeline. A breakdown in communication can quickly escalate into a dangerous situation. One incident involved two tugs operating in close proximity within a bustling shipyard. One tug was maneuvering a large dry dock through a narrow channel. The other, smaller tug, was towing a string of barges. Both captains were experienced, but a critical piece of information got lost in translation. The captain of the larger tug assumed the smaller vessel would yield the right of way. However, due to a miscommunication, the smaller tug was unaware of the larger vessel's intentions. The two tugs found themselves on a collision course. Horns blared, engines roared, and crew members scrambled to avert disaster. Thankfully, the captain of the smaller tug executed a sharp turn, narrowly avoiding a collision, a reminder of the importance of clear communication. These stories serve a vital purpose. They remind us that accidents don't just happen. They're often the culmination of small oversights, but more importantly, they offer valuable lessons. The capsized tug underscores the importance of vigilance. The near miss with the mooring line highlights the dangers of fatigue. The near collision emphasizes the role of clear communication. Safety requires active participation, constant vigilance, and a willingness to learn. By sharing these stories, we can create a safer working environment. Let's turn these lessons into triumphs. Let's talk about the basics, the gear that stands between you and potential harm. Out here, personal protective equipment, or PPE, isn't optional. It's non-negotiable. It's the armor you wear to face the daily challenges of tugboat life. We're talking hard hats, those trusty helmets protecting your skull. Then there are the steel-toe boots, because when a heavy chain decides to take a tumble, you want your toes to live and tell the tale. Don't forget about those high visibility vests. Out here, especially in low light or rough seas, being seen is just as important as seeing. And if you're handling lines, gloves are your best friend. But here's the catch. PPE only works if you wear it, and wear it properly. A hard hat perched precariously on your head won't do you much good, and gloves stuffed in your back pocket won't protect your hands. Make it a habit to gear up before every task. Your body will thank you for it. Improper lifting is a surefire way to earn yourself a one-way ticket to back pain city. Out here, we're constantly dealing with heavy equipment. It's tempting to rely on brute strength, but that's when injuries happen. Remember, it's not about how much you can lift, it's about how you lift it. Always use proper lifting techniques. Bend at the knees, keep your back straight, and let your legs do the heavy lifting. And if a load is too heavy, don't be afraid to ask for help. There's no shame in teamwork, especially when it comes to protecting your spine. Utilize those tools designed to make your life easier. We've got pallet jacks, forklifts, and hoists for a reason. These mechanical marvels are there to share the burden and prevent unnecessary strain. Work smarter, not harder. Save your back for the important things in life. Lift safely, lift smart. Your body will thank you. Those bright lines aren't just for decoration. They're markers of danger zones. Take the winch, for example. It can haul in a line faster than you can say snap back. Always stay clear of the danger zone. And those railings, your defense against a watery plunge. Stay vigilant and aware of your surroundings. Alright folks, it's time to put your safety smarts to the test. We've talked about the risks, we've dissected the dangers. Now let's see if you can spot those hidden hazards lurking on deck. Remember, out here it's often the seemingly small things, the overlooked details that can lead to big problems. So, keep your eyes peeled, your mind sharp, and let's see what you've got. We're going to run through a few scenarios, common situations you might encounter on any given day on a tugboat. Your job is to be the safety detective, to identify the potential hazards and tell us how to mitigate the risks. Are you ready? Good. Let's get started. Remember, there's no shame in calling out a potential hazard, but there might be consequences for ignoring one. Our first scenario takes us below deck, where a crew member is conducting routine maintenance in the engine room. He's got his tools laid out, he's wearing his PPE, and he's ready to tackle the task at hand. But wait a minute. Take a closer look at that hatch leading down to the engine room. What do you see? That's right, the hatch is wide open and there's no safety chain or barrier in sight. Now imagine for a moment what could happen if someone were to accidentally step or fall into that open hatch. We're talking about a potential fall from height, a serious head injury, or even worse. And all because someone forgot a simple yet crucial safety step: securing the hatch. Remember folks, it only takes a second to secure a Kitira hatch, but the consequences of leaving it open can last a lifetime. For our next scenario, let's head back up to the main deck. The crew is busy securing a tow line to a barge, a routine operation. The deck is wet from seawater, adding danger. A wrench rests on the railing, seemingly harmless, but it's precariously balanced, a bump away from falling. It could strike someone below, causing injury. The solution? A place for everything and everything in its place. We've talked about the dangers and risks of unsafe acts, but the most powerful tool we have is each other. Building a culture of safety is about looking out for one another, feeling empowered to speak up, and holding each other accountable. It starts with you, with me, with everyone on that deck. Let's make safety our top priority every single day. Now, even the most experienced captain, the toughest deckhand, can benefit from a little structure. That's where checklists and toolbox talks come in. Think of a checklist as your pre-flight inspection, a way to ensure every I is dotted and every T is crossed. Engage with it. Talk through each item with your crewmates and confirm that all necessary precautions are in place. Then there are toolbox talks, those short, focused discussions that can be the difference between a near miss and a disaster. Now, let's talk about those heart-stopping moments, the ones that make you catch your breath. We're talking about near misses, those incidents that could have resulted in injury, damage, or worse. They're golden opportunities to learn, adapt, and prevent future incidents. Report them, create a safe environment, and treat them with respect. Use them as stepping stones to a safer work environment. Now let's talk about leadership. It's not just a title, it's a responsibility. The captain, the mates, the engineers set the tone. Safety isn't just a word on a plaque, it's a value woven into the operation. A good leader understands safety is an attitude. They lead by example, demonstrating commitment. They foster trust, encouraging open dialogue. A crew that feels heard and respected embraces safety. Now, being a leader isn't about barking orders or ruling with an iron fist. It's about empowering your crew, giving them the knowledge, the tools, and the confidence to make safe decisions. Recognizing that everyone has a role in maintaining a safe work environment. Creating a culture where safety is a shared value. A true leader sees their crew as a team, a family bound by the goal of safety. And they never underestimate the power of recognition. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the nuts and bolts of PPE to the importance of building a culture of safety. Safety isn't just a destination, it's an ongoing process, a commitment we make every single day. Think of it like this: every time we step onto that deck, we have a choice to make. Our choices have a ripple effect. They influence those around us, even our families back home. When we prioritize safety, we're setting an example for others to follow. So, as you head back out there onto those ever-changing waters, remember this: safety isn't someone else's responsibility, it's yours. it's mine. It's about looking out for ourselves, for our shipmates, and for the future of this industry. Let's make a commitment right here, right now, to make safety our top priority. Remember, the sea is a powerful force, but so are we. Let's harness that power, let's work together. Stay safe out there, folks, and thanks for joining me on this journey.